There is a place in our solar system where falling never ends. You do not hit the ground, because there is no ground to hit. You just sink. You fall for thousands of kilometers through a sky that gets darker, hotter, and heavier, until the air itself becomes a solid wall that crushes your bones to dust. Jupiter is not just a planet. It is a slow, methodical execution machine. A giant trap made of toxic gas and impossible physics. Today, we are pushing you over the edge. We are sending you straight into the heart of the monster. Before you even touch the swirling white and brown clouds, the planet reaches out to kill you. Millions of kilometers away, your ship crosses an invisible boundary. You have entered Jupiter's magnetosphere. It is the largest single structure in the solar system. If you could see it from Earth, it would look bigger than the full moon in our sky. But you do not see it. You feel it. Jupiter spins incredibly fast. A day there lasts just 10 hours. This violent rotation whips its magnetic field into a frenzy. It is 20,000 times stronger than the magnetic field that protects Earth. It acts like a giant, merciless particle accelerator. It traps electrons and protons and accelerates them to nearly the speed of light. In 1973, the Pioneer 10 spacecraft flew through this zone. The radiation was so intense it nearly fried the probe's electronics. For human flesh, it is an absolute death sentence. If you are exposed out here, you do not feel the heat yet. You feel the sickness. Millions of rads of radiation tear through your spacesuit. This invisible storm shreds your DNA like microscopic bullets. Your cells stop dividing. Your biological clock is instantly reduced to hours. You are a walking ghost, plummeting toward a gas giant. The planet has already killed you, and you have not even reached the atmosphere. But gravity drags you forward. It pulls at you with terrifying strength. You hit the upper atmosphere at 50 kilometers per second. That is 150,000 kilometers per hour. At this speed, the friction turns the thin hydrogen gas around you into a blinding plasma fireball. You are riding a meteor made of your own capsule. The G-forces press on your chest. You cannot breathe. The blood drains from your brain. If your heat shield somehow holds together, the fire finally dies down. You punch through the high-altitude haze. Suddenly, the temperature plummets. You are surrounded by freezing cold. Minus 150 degrees Celsius. The air smells sharply of pungent cleaning fluid. You are falling through vast, swirling clouds of frozen ammonia crystals. The wind here does not just blow. It tears. In 2003, the Cassini spacecraft looked back on its way to Saturn and measured the jet streams in these upper layers. They howl at over 600 kilometers per hour. There is no sound like this on Earth. It is a deafening, continuous roar of gas moving so fast, it would strip the skin directly from your face if your visor cracked. You look up. The sun is just a pale, distant speck in the hazy sky. It provides absolutely no warmth. You are falling through an endless, toxic winter storm. And the terrifying part is, you are falling incredibly fast, but the bottom is nowhere in sight. 50 kilometers down. The white ammonia clouds give way to thick, dark brown and orange layers. This is ammonium hydrosulfide. The smell changes from harsh cleaning fluid to the rotting stench of hydrogen sulfide. It smells like millions of rotting eggs. The pressure here is roughly equal to Earth at sea level. For a brief, mocking moment, the temperature becomes comfortable. It is room temperature. You could almost take off your helmet and feel the breeze. But this comfort is a trap. If you breathe this air, your lungs would instantly fill with toxic, unbreathable hydrogen and helium. You would suffocate in seconds. Gravity does not care about your comfort. It just keeps pulling. 100 kilometers down. The faint light from the distant sun is completely gone. You are swallowed by total, suffocating pitch blackness. You cannot see your own hands in front of your face. But the darkness is not empty. It is illuminated by violent, blinding flashes of electricity. You have entered the water cloud layer. These clouds are made of water, just like on Earth. But that is where the similarity ends. The water droplets here are churned by thermal energy rising from the deep interior. They form towering thunderheads that dwarf entire continents. Massive thunderstorms rage here in the dark. These lightning bolts are thousands of times more powerful than anything on Earth. A single strike could vaporize your ship. In 1995, NASA dropped the Galileo probe into this exact darkness. It transmitted data for just 58 short minutes. Then, it went completely silent. Why did it stop? Because the planet began to squeeze it to death. The pressure is now 10 times what you feel on Earth. If your capsule had a window, the glass would start to bend inward. The metal hull groans. The temperature spikes aggressively. It is now over 150 degrees Celsius. You are baking alive in the dark. 200 kilometers down. The pressure becomes monstrous. It is like having an entire skyscraper balanced on your chest. Human bones snap under a fraction of this weight. Your lungs collapse completely. Your blood tries to boil from the rising heat, but the immense pressure forces it to stay liquid. Your eardrums rupture. You notice something else terrifying. You are no longer falling through a gas. The atmosphere has become thick, heavy, and viscous. It is a supercritical fluid. The boundary between gas and liquid has vanished. It is like sinking through hot, invisible tar. The temperature crosses 400 degrees. This heat would melt lead. It melts the circuits in your suit. It slowly cooks the flesh on your bones. The air is so thick it physically pushes against you, slowing your fall, dragging you down inch by inch. Thousands of kilometers deeper, the very physics of the universe begin to break down into madness. The pressure reaches 2 million times Earth's atmospheric pressure. The temperature hits 10,000 degrees Celsius. This is hotter than the surface of the glowing sun. Under this apocalyptic stress, hydrogen gas undergoes a horrifying transformation. The pressure is so violent that it forces atoms to crush together. Electrons are violently ripped away from their nuclei. The gas becomes a superheated liquid metal. You are now sinking into the largest ocean in the solar system. An ocean of liquid metallic hydrogen. Scientists on Earth struggle to create this in laboratories. They have to use diamond anvils to crush tiny samples. But here, Jupiter manufactures it by the billions of tons. It is an ocean deeper than the entire diameter of our planet. It is highly electrically conductive. It is spinning rapidly, generating the massive magnetic field that fried your DNA millions of kilometers ago. In this ocean, nothing human can exist. The pressure does not just crush your body. It destroys the chemical bonds that hold your molecules together. Your proteins, your carbon, your water. They are ripped apart at the atomic level. Your atoms are violently dissolved into the glowing, spinning metal storm. You do not just die. You are unmade. You are erased from existence. You literally become part of Jupiter's fluid dynamo. But let us say you are a ghost, an indestructible observer sinking through this blinding, roaring metal ocean. You fall for tens of thousands of kilometers. The heat continues to rise. 20,000 degrees. The pressure is unfathomable. Eventually, you reach the center. For decades, scientists thought Jupiter had a solid rock core. But in 2016, the Juno spacecraft arrived. It began mapping Jupiter's gravity field with unprecedented precision. It discovered a truth far stranger and more terrifying. The core is not a solid ball. It is a fuzzy, diluted mass. A swirling, chaotic hell of molten rock, heavy metals, and exotic ice, completely dissolved into the metallic hydrogen. The pressure here is up to 100 million times that of Earth. Temperatures reach 24,000 degrees. There is no solid surface to stand on. No grand destination at the end of the fall. Just a dense, glowing cage of unbearable heat and crushing gravity. You would be trapped here forever, suspended in the thick, molten heart of the giant. Crushed from all sides, unable to move, unable to escape, spinning in the dark for billions of years until the end of the solar system. This is the terrifying reality of the gas giant. We look at Jupiter through our telescopes and admire its beauty. We see its swirling red and white stripes. We call it our planetary protector, a giant shield that catches wandering asteroids before they can hit Earth. We give it human traits. We think of it as a guardian. But Jupiter is not a guardian. It does not care about life. It is an engine of pure, mindless physics. A failed star that lacked the mass to ignite, but possesses all the violence of a cosmic furnace. Its gravity pulls without mercy. Its pressure crushes without thought. Its heat consumes everything it touches. It operates in total darkness, endlessly churning its own metallic oceans in a silent scream of energy. The universe is filled with these silent crushers. giant spheres of gas and metal scattered across the galaxy. They offer no ground to stand on, no sky to breathe, and absolutely no mercy. If you slip and fall into the void, the universe does not catch you. It just swallows you whole, digests your atoms, and continues its eternal spin. There is a place in our solar system where falling never ends. And in the end, it makes sure you never hit the ground.